On this episode of Thriving Women, the Thrive Tribe honors singer-songwriter Chanté Moore with a music video tribute to her passion and dedication to creating timeless music that inspires the soul.
The month of February is deemed Black History Month, which was created in 1926 when historian Carter G. Woodson and the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History. They announced the second week of February to be Negro History Week. Scholars have acknowledged two main reasons for its birth: recognition and importance. Woodson felt deeply that at least 1 week would allow for the general movement to become something annually celebrated. Thriving Women shares the same mission, and we decided to open our show recognizing someone that has dedicated over 28 years writing and singing songs that encourage, enlighten, and empower women to be their best version of themselves. Brianna has the honors.
All right. Well, good morning, Thriving Women. I am really excited about today's episode and just to be in great company. So today, as Genesis just spoke upon, we will be talking to singer and songwriter Chanté Moore. She has a voice that is smooth, sultry, and absolutely unforgettable. Chanté has made millions of fans around the globe. A native of San Francisco, the daughter of a minister, Chanté grew up on gospel music and albums by George Duke and Lee Rightnor, and sometimes apply her lyrics to their music. Moore decided as a teenager that she wanted to become a singer, that after an inspirational performance in a high school rendition of The Wiz. Chanté was featured on El DeBarge Top 15 R&B single, You Know What I Like. The R&B singer rose to fame after being discovered by producer and executive Luau Salaz, who signed her to Salaz Records and released her debut album, Precious. Chanté Moore has placed over a dozen songs on the Billboard's R&B chart. Her single Love Takes Over became a staple on the charts, and the album was a huge success. In 1999, Moore released her signature song, Chanté's Got a Man at Home. We all know that, right? And that was featured on This Is The Moment Is Mine's album, earning a Soul Train Award nomination as well as other accolades throughout the entire industry. But it's not just the music that has excelled Chanté. In addition to being one of television's top individuals on R&B Divas, she has acted on television, appeared in several of plays, and wrote a best-selling book, Will I Marry Me? Chanté has never given up making music and performing live. Though Chanté did not release any solo material for several of years, she continued to have success with collaborative work. Her latest album was the critical acclaimed The Rise of Phoenix, which produced the hit Real One. Chanté released Fresh Love, a powerful song, and making great use of her well-aged vocals and proving she still has a lot of fire left within her. Chanté does not just bless us with love songs, she dresses us up with intimate music video that features her love interest spreading that she spends quality time with together. Chanté said, I love creating music. From the moment I think of something, I am truly inspired.
In this segment, Sabrina shares a picture interview with Chanté Moore.
So, welcome back to Thriving Women Talk. We are honored to have singer and songwriter Chanté Moore on our show today. Chanté, we do not just interview our guests, we empower them to speak on topics that encourage our guests to live their best lives. Chanté, you spent the past 28 years giving your heart and song to your friends and fans, and we want to continue honoring you on our show today. Our producer has found some selective pictures on Facebook that tell your story of how you became a thriving woman that we all love and respect. Nevertheless, we have a younger co-host and viewers that really do not know about your lifelong journey of empowering women. So we want to share that with the world today. And we want to get your thoughts on each of these pictures. So Chanté, picture number one, tell us about your mother.
Well, starting from a striving woman, that's where I came from. My mother was a stay-at-home mother, and she taught me to be confident, and she loved me very well. She was an amazing wife and mother who taught me how to just give of my heart. That reminds me of us going on road trips. We didn't used to fly when we were kids. We would we would go on road trips. So the flying didn't happen until I became an entertainer and then realized, oh, people get places faster. But we had those beautiful times in the car, laughing and talking and singing. So that's what that picture brings back.
Nothing like a mother. It brings back so many memories when we go back to our childhood like that.
Yeah.
We've got picture number 2. And what we want to know is, how did this competition, we got picture number 2, inspire you to thrive at a young age? There you go. Picture number 2. How did this competition inspire you to thrive at such a young age?
Well, I just had a very confident way about myself anyway. My mom taught me who I was on the inside and not just on the outside. And I think knowing who you are on the inside is part of what makes you a beauty queen, what makes you be able to compete without being in competition specifically with that young lady. You don't have to be angry. You don't have to be intimidated by anybody else's beauty, no matter who you are, whatever age you are. So that's what beauty pageants taught me, is just how to be comrades with the people that you're in quote unquote competition with. And I think as sisters, we should all embrace that a little bit more. We're usually trying to outdo one another and how hot can I be and things like that. It taught me just to be myself, and I'll shine no matter what if I'm authentically me.
I love that. And I love you just said something about being in competition with yourself. So basically be the best person that you can be,
Yeah.
and not about being, better than somebody else. So
No.
great empowerment to our young listeners.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's look at picture number 4.
This picture is a picture of my first album that came out in 1992. It was the cover of my album Precious.
Oh,
And it was Lil Silas, actually, is the name of the person who signed me on Silas Records. The young lady did have his name incorrect. I wanted to be sure that I paid homage to him. God rest his soul. I was signed in 1992, and what came out in 1992. My first single was Love's Taken Over. That's the video that was shot in Paris, which was really amazing to be able to have my dreams come true like that. And been singing ever since, which is good. I've had a really long and beautiful career. It hasn't been everything that I wanted it to be, because I think everybody who comes out in the industry wants to be, where Beyonce is, but there's a price to pay for that, and there's work to do for that. And I think what's wonderful is that I'm still here, and the longevity and the respect that I have in the industry is really priceless to me.
well, I'm glad you pulled me out on that one, because you know who you are. And exactly, that album debuted in 1992. And along with that picture, I was going to ask you, how did that CD change your life? And you kind of alluded to that. Was there anything else you wanted to say about the change you went through when that album debuted?
Well, I went from the girl next door to the girl next door who traveled a lot. Um, it really does require work. It requires work to be who you say you want to be. And I think that's what women empowerment is supposed to be about, is that we're supposed to get it in here, that it takes work to go wherever it is you're going. And I think a lot of people want to wake up and become a celebrity, wake up and become a star, wake up and be famous. And I think because of the internet, a lot of us have watched young ladies become well known, but there are pressures that go along with that. There are requirements and responsibilities that come along with that. Just like motherhood, you can become a mother, but becoming a real mother, a really good mother, it requires patience and time and energy, and to be taught and then to learn from your children and to grow and learn and get from the tribe of people that you have around you. I just think it's so much more involved than just shining for the hour that you see your friend or your celebrity, famous person that you look at going, oh my gosh, they're so great, I wish I could do that. There's more to it than that. So I just think it's something, it's a time that I learned how to work, how to really put in and dig in and take time to become excellent.
And those are the little dirty little secrets, we call them, that most people don't realize, putting in that work, but also that transition period, as you mentioned. I mean, you go from the girl next door to boom, and having to manage all that. And like you said, travel.
Yeah.
Right. There's a lot of, I'm sure, emotional changes, mental, psychological, and physical, because of the physical demands on the body. So thank you for sharing that insight. Now we're going to go to this picture number 4. So can you share with us about that and what stopped season number 4?
I think everybody stopped season number 4. I don't think it really was what all of us anticipated it to be. I think it ran its course. I think for all of us, it's not my world, really. I'm a person who really loves to uplift and to really, I have sisters that are kind and uplifting and supportive, and I'm really not a diva. So it was just a little bit out of my element. And I think if I would have done some research on what, reality TV shows really were, I would probably have declined the opportunity. However, I'm a smart woman. I'm I'm a quick study. So I figured it out, that just being me was enough, but that I had to really understand I had an arsenal of other things that I had to bring out in the middle of all of that. So it was a good lesson. And yeah, wouldn't do it now as an adult.
It's part of the journey. That's your experience and that's your story to tell. And by the way, you're my diva, so I'm going to disagree with you there. I think you are a diva, and so just own that, okay? Just own it. But you know how those shows are, ratings and everything. Life, nothing ever stays the same. So the moment was there, and it accomplished what it needed to. So part of your journey, we're going to move on to picture number 5. And that is, you should recognize this, the book title, Will I Marry Me? There you go. So what inspired this title, Will I Marry Me? And why should our listeners read your book?
Well, the book is more about my journey into myself. I was married, unhappily married at the time, and I was praying to the Lord and telling on my husband, saying what I didn't like and what I was upset about and how I felt like the Lord should change him. And this is what I think, and this is how I think. And Lord, why doesn't he do this and that? And then the Lord turned the camera and the mirror towards me and said, well, who are you? Who are you? Are you the woman that you need to be? Would anybody marry you? You fix you, and then let's worry about fixing somebody else. And so I started digging deep inside of who I am. And I've kept a journal since I was 12 years old. So it wasn't a new thing to examine myself. I figured out that early on, just writing out is very lethargic. And it's clear that I learn from looking at my past, looking at my present, and planning for my future. Like I said, write the vision and make it plain in scriptures. It says that. But for me, the book was about writing down the list of things that is me, whatever is me. Would I write down, if I wrote down all those things, would I marry that girl? Not with grace and not just, but it's because she did that. Oh, forgive that because she was there. Oh, and then don't remember that because she this. I mean, the truth about who you are. If you write all that down, would you marry that girl? And that's what that book is about, is me examining myself.
That's a good point. We often think about, our perfect guy, that perfect image, but who are we? Are we that image that we picture in someone else? I mean, very good points. Like, would someone want to marry us? Are we that 10? That picture of perfection of that, soulmate, husband, whatever, are we that person? So that has got to be, we highly recommend that book. That's a good read. I imagine even not only if you're contemplating marriage, but if you are married, still need to do those same soul searching principles. We really appreciate you sharing this picture interview with us. And
in this segment, Dr. Lita Harris, Cheryl Cobb, and Chanté Moore share their little secret on women's health initiatives that every woman needs to know.
Spiritual thing. I mean, when people get together and they want to share and they can't, that can be a very uncomfortable thing. So the vaginal rejuvenation part of it is, I love the fact that we can use a laser. Okay. We don't do it the Korean style. Okay. That commercial was talking about a whole different way. We don't do the Korean style. What we do is a CO2 laser. And what that does is it creates like little micro injury or trauma to the entire vaginal canal, allowing the normal healing mechanisms to take place. So as the tissue heals, it brings in, collagen, elastin, glycogen, things like that, that strengthen the tissue. And so with each treatment, it's a month apart. So with each one, we go a little bit higher with the energy and the density for the laser, strengthening it more. So whether you have laxity that can be tightened, urinary incontinence, where you cough, you sneeze, you laugh, and you lose your pee-pee, okay, that helps that as well. Dryness and lack of lubrication, it restores and reverses the atrophy that takes place in the vagina. So
I am a girl who's like a stitch in time saves 9 kind of a chick.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's just how I think, is like, take care of your skin before you have wrinkles, moisturize. And before you have, sagging skin, lift upward, there are things before you get flabby, work out, there's things that I feel like there are preventative measures that you take in life that can help elongate and make a better life for you as you grow older.
When Chanté, you were saying you take care of things in advance. So a lot of women don't, because they don't have the information. So this show is vitally important that people listen and learn and continue to do the research, because there's things out there, even with hair loss. I've had some hair loss as well. And once again, Dr. Lita gave me something for that, and it's starting to get thicker and it's starting to grow in much better. And I'm really excited about that. But I had no idea that you could take things, or there was things without having an operation, without them taking a needle and thread and putting you under with oxygen. I had no idea you could do this. So it's been transformative, and my body has really transformed, and I'm really happy and thankful for you, Dr. Lita. That's why I thought it was so important that you come on the show.
Is the laser rejuvenation, is the procedure covered by HMO or PPO insurance? And what
this is considered to be an elective type of procedure.
But I also want to ask, what would be one of the first steps to get a consultation with you? Please let us know. What's the process? So
basically, I'm not sure how this platform is good, but of course, we have our website of nurturingyou.com. That's nurturingyou.com, where people can go and just see the procedure itself and other types of services we have. But we do have a nice explanation of the procedure there. And of course, our contact information is there. So you can give us a call. Our phone number is 844-845-8737. We are on Facebook. Nurturing You Women's Health and Wellness is on Facebook. We're on Instagram. On Instagram, I'm Dr. Lita, as you see on the screen. So we do a lot of promotional types of things, but we also have a chat on our website, so that in case you do visit our site off hours, you can, put your information, your required information in the chat, and someone will get back with you the next day. So
Chanté Moore, what is going on with you? How can we find you? And what's your vision for 2021?
Well, vision part is too long to talk about. However, you can find me talking about it week to week. My Instagram page is at I am Chanté Moore. On Facebook, new music is coming as always. I'm always going to sing until I drop dead. I'm going to be singing. At my own funeral, I'm going to be up there going, and but always singing, always writing another book called My Quest for God's Face. It is done. I've not sought out a publisher yet. I've not figured out how I'm going to do it, but it's My Quest for God's Face is going to be coming this year. Always doing new things. So just, stay connected. ChantéMoore.com. Chanté Moore on YouTube, the YouTube channel, and there is a Patreon page as well. On my Instagram and my Facebook, there's a link tree that'll connect you to everything that is associated with Chanté Moore as an artist. So thank you so much for having me here today.
Tune in next week, and you can follow the Thrive Tribe on Clubhouse and Facebook.